so as you guys can tell from the title, I'm pregnant. I never expected to be on Expecting Soon, like so soon in my life. But I guess like things happen and I'm actually very excited to be here. So when I realized when I was pregnant was actually after 3 negative pregnancy tests, and on my 4th one I was pregnant. For the first 3 times I was like, there is no way I'm pregnant. The 4th time, when it first came out positive, I thought that it was fake and I thought my kid is spoiled. So I took another test and it was positive again, and then I was like, no, I think the whole set is spoiled. So I went to get another kit, it came out positive as well, and I was like, okay, I'm pregnant. So right now I'm actually in my 2nd trimester, and that's why I decided to announce it when everything is a little bit more stable. I'm actually in my 12-week mark right now, meaning my baby is about 4.7 cm, and my baby is the size of a lime, and it's like a cute lime, you know. The first person that I actually told about my pregnancy was Jianhao, and the thing is I never wanted to tell anyone that day. I wanted to wait like a day or 2 to clarify. But when I came in the studio, Jianhao just looked at me and he was like, what's wrong? And I was just like, He said, what's wrong? And I was like, So I had no choice because I couldn't keep it, so I just had to tell him, and he was like stunned. So yeah. So how my husband reacted to it was actually he was the first person to know. When I found out I was pregnant, I was going to take a Grab here, but I told Titus like, hey, can you fetch me to the shoot today? And I said, you don't have to drive, can you just accompany me in the car because I feel very lonely. So I told him to play a role with me. I said, Amanda wanted me to rehearse my lines. So I said, can you practice with me in the car before I go up? And he was like, okay, whatever. I said, but you must play your part. So I told him to close his eyes, and I took out the pregnancy test kit and I put it in his hands. At first he looked at me, he was like, take it back. I was like, what? Then he started laughing like out of nowhere, and he was like, no, actually don't, just give it to me, I want it. And I was like, wait, what? Actually, Titus is not a very vocal person. I actually recorded the whole thing. So in the recording, I went back to watch it because I was like, what if this man is not happy, but he's saying it because he feels bad? But in the end, I checked back the recording, and his actual reaction was like, he was smiling the whole time on the inside, although he was so shocked. I mean, who wouldn't be shocked? I would be shocked too. When I first told my mom and my dad, they came down to Singapore, so me and Titus arranged a trip for them to come down. So on the first day, I was like, babe, we gotta tell them, like, we cannot keep this anymore. And my dad instantly said like, what is it? Come and tell us. And we just kept laughing the whole time. When they found out, my mom was like tearing, and she was like telling Titus how much she, really cares about me and my brother, and she's so happy, to be able to experience this with me. My parents have been honestly nothing but supportive about my whole journey. I definitely have like a lot of friends that care about me and check out on me from time to time, make sure that my mental health is in place during this pregnancy, and they also like to ask about the baby and like always make sure I eat well, sleep well. I know my parents would want me to my parents would want to be here, but because they're in Malaysia, they can't be here all the time. But I feel like I'm lacking nothing. I'm just very grateful that this journey is not lonely. Suddenly expecting a baby, how it feels changes from day to day. And I have so many things that I wanted to achieve in my life, and I had to, really ask myself, is that what matters, or is this baby what really matters to me? When I really decided upon it, and I was so sure, and I remember like my gynae, he said this to me. I have seen so many people like have babies and they have never once regretted having a child. It came to the mentality where I told myself that I'll do whatever it takes to make sure this baby has a good life. I guess I also changed lifestyles, and it made me honestly feel much more responsible, and it honestly gave me like a purpose. The weird thing about me is I don't experience morning sickness. I experience something called midnight sickness. People always assume that morning sickness is like when you wake up in the morning and you puke and like you feel nauseous. That's what the term, I guess, means. Now that I'm in the beginning of my 2nd trimester, I actually feel less nauseous all the time, unless I'm in like an extremely bumpy car ride. My relationship with Titus has definitely changed after finding out that we are having a baby. Every relationship will change once you have that. Basically, our social life, entertainment life was very, very like, I guess, active. It was definitely a work in progress because we both have very complicated pasts, and I'm a person that tends to bring in the past. It's difficult, and especially because I'm extremely emotional when I'm pregnant. So every day is like a work in progress to do better for each other and for the baby, I guess. Do I really think that I'm ready to be a parent? I don't feel like anybody is ever 100% ready to be a parent, especially me. I don't think I'm 100% ready, but I know that because this is something that I want, I'll do whatever it takes to be 100% ready, whether it is physically, mentally, financially. I mean, the physical part and the financial part is something that is much easier for me to work on, but I think mentally right now I'm in a very good place, and every day I practice I practice my meditation, my breathing. I try to practice like a healthy mindset, and if I'm unhappy about something, I try to learn how to communicate better so that it helps me mentally and I can feel more at peace, so that I feel less unhappiness and my baby grows in a healthy environment as well. I think because right now everything is so overwhelming and there are so many things that I need and I want. What I actually require the most in my pregnancy journey and also in like everyday life is like healthy communication and like emotional support. I think because I'm a very emotional person and I'm a very like mental person, so I value good conversations, I value like intellectual thoughts, and I value like energy a lot, especially for my partner or for my friends. I would want them to be more understanding and more patient with me, and they are. So honestly, I guess that's what I would want the most, like more communication and to be understood. Some advice that I would want to give like anybody who is going through the same thing as me. I guess like I'm not the best person to give advices right now, but I would want to say like, make up a decision in your heart and ask yourself every day what is the purpose that you're living for, and always control your mind. Find that inner peace and find that balance within like what you really want. And every time you feel upset, it's okay to feel upset and it's okay to feel like everything is falling apart. But when everything is falling apart, like just remind yourself that there's a bigger picture out there. There's somebody out there who is coming into this world that will love you unconditionally, so you will never ever be alone. And you gotta love yourself first. Like really, I feel before all of that, you have to really learn to love yourself first. If not, you will never be able to love someone else or love the things that you do. Because when you love yourself, everything else really does fall into place. And I also can't wait to do the Old Wives' Tale episode here on Ladies First. And I'm actually also going to be doing a gender reveal video on me and Titus's couples channel. I actually get to check my gender a little bit earlier because I did this test for my baby last week, and my results will be out very, very soon in 10 days from my test date. So I'll be able to share that gender review much earlier than I ever expected. So I can't wait to share it with you guys. So that's all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for being a part of my journey. This is just the beginning. And if you haven't, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Ladies First, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.